What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Week 14 edition of the SWOLECAST. I can't believe we're 14 weeks in the SWOLECAST so far. Here we are, though, on RotoGrinders.com. David Kitchen, a.k.a. Socrdave, with Mr. Tuttle 05. You can, Manuel Lynn Miranda, is that the actor guy? That
was a really good tweet by that guy this morning.
Yeah, that was a good tweet. You've got a lot of comps. Someone, I forget the comedian. It's the guy who drugged the other guy. I forget who it was. He was on the Rogan podcast. You got that comp as well?
I don't know that one.
Yeah. All right. And then, anyways, we've got Davis Mattek. Davis, the hair is looking good. You used conditioner recently, I can tell.
Incorrect.
When do you use conditioner on that mane?
Maybe once a week.
Oh, but you do use conditioner.
I mean, when my girlfriend buys it and it's in the shower, yeah. It's not like I'm ever going out of my way to buy it, you know?
What kind of conditioner does she buy?
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you for $1 million.
I do like the tree leaf one for my hair.
I have never had long hair, but if I had long hair, I would totally treat myself and put conditioner in it. Anyways, we've got Pete Overzet on location. Peter, say hi to the people.
Hi, people. Hi. How are you guys doing? Just happy to be here.
Can you say hello in the native language of where you're currently at?
I will. I want to give the listeners a little chance to pick up on some context clues quicker than you guys here. I will slowly give out clues to where I am, but for now, I'm on the lam, having to lay low.
All right. Peter, how was it having Patrick Laird on your show the other day?
It was great, dude. To get that for my YouTube channel, it's been a little dry of late. We had the counselor interview. We got Patrick Laird, and I did this Make-A-Wish thing with Davis where I allowed him to come on the show too. And it's been really great. I think on my YouTube it's up to 600 views. There's 6 comments. And it's been really good for me, Dave, honestly.
Listen, about 6 years ago, 2013 or so, when I saw this kid, at the time his name was Little D the Dilemma. When I saw him and he was just tweeting out just random stats, I was like, this kid deserves a chance. And I gave him a chance. And now to see the maturation of Davis from that guy back then with those lyrics for his former rap career to now interviewing actual NFL players is it's pretty awesome, just as from the mentor side of things. So anyways, good stuff, guys.
If you saw David, but what was actually really cool about it is Davis was almost interviewing himself because he kept trying to answer the questions for Patrick Laird too. So.
Dude, I felt for Patrick. I know the exact thing. Oh, okay. I guess Davis is going to answer this one directly towards me.
If we had a bar of the talk time of the entire thing, it's amazing how the interview, the key to doing a good interview is to talk more than the guy that you're interviewing.
Numbers don't lie. Go check the sports section of your favorite podcast. We're up to number 4 in fantasy sports, by the way.
Very nice and much deserved. Kudos to Peter for locking that down. All right, let's get on to the overview of Week 14. Peter, have you been able to kind of look over things now? This is you've done really well 2 weeks in a row. I feel like maybe the pressure's off on you to deliver for a third week in a row.
Well, people do forget that I am now good at DFS, so it's good to kind of establish that right out of the gate. There are some things on the line. I've made a few promises. If I 5X, I will buy an iPhone this week. Also, if I 5X,
we can start a group chat, bro.
I'll get a 30 by 30 acrylic painting of a lion. So there are some things that I can achieve that I haven't, but I'm like Michael Jordan when he kind of retired to go play baseball, where there was just not much left for him to accomplish in the sport. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
It makes sense. And listen, I want to give a shout out to your bankroll challenge and the bankroll challenge contest, because it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, Dave just runs the optimal from the blitz, tosses it in there, and does pretty well.
I do not run the optimal from the blitz.
It was pretty damn close.
It was not the optimal from the blitz.
It was like a 1v1, Dave.
The blitz optimal scored a lot of DraftKings points this last week.
Here's where you know that I'm a fish, is that someone was trying to troll us, like, when's DraftKings community guidelines going to kick into effect? I just had the same, just in a 50-50, and had the same lineup as Davis and Socrdave. And I'm like, did I have the same lineup as Davis? I felt like a huge fish in that moment, having the same lineup as Davis. Has
Andrew Wiggins been texting both of you guys?
No, I don't. Andrew Wiggins is the guy that Davis always looks up to.
That's not even true, dude. I tail our other buddy, who I'm not even going to say his name, but I
can make my own decisions. I
got one, guys. You want to know who Davis looks up to? Everyone.
Oh, that was a short joke.
I mean, I look up to Wiggins as like an example of someone's life I want to follow. I don't look up to TJ as someone whose life I want to follow, but TJ's very good at DFS.
He's also been crushing. He lost $100K on the blocked extra point last week. Shout out to TJ.
Kyle in chat just clueless. That was the best part.
All right. Let's hit up this slate. We've got some interesting games, Tuttle. Give us the overview, since Peter is somewhere MIA.
I think I caught that's a T-Cotty can, isn't it?
It's not.
I know where you are. Should I spoil it for the viewers,
yes.
Peter? He's in Costa Rica.
Davis, you finally got one right, buddy.
There it is. So the Costa Rican overview of the week. Yeah, it's actually kind of a difficult week in terms of lineup construction. I don't think there's really a clear-cut quarterback play in cash games. I think there's a couple different guys you can go in between. Deshaun Watson being one of those guys, and I think Tannehill is going to be kind of popular this week against the Raiders. I'm not completely sold on that, but I think those are. I
am not sold on chalk Ryan Tannehill, even a smidgen.
Hey, why don't you let Boots on the ground weigh in on this one, guys?
Yeah, let's hear it. Boots on the ground. Ryan Tannehill and cash.
I mean, Titans offense is rolling right now. I don't know what you have to see. Davis continues to just downplay. I mean, if you think about how rich Davis would be if he just listened to me on Derrick Henry, Indy Himber, and Devontae Parker, how rich would Davis Mattek be if he listened to his mentor?
Playing Derrick Henry at these prices on DraftKings is like some of the most egregious decision making, but people are just going to keep doing it, and they're not going to get punished, which is it's crazy. I don't know how it happens, but no one's getting punished because every game it doesn't matter. He just gets that 75-yard touchdown run. It is a guarantee that it happens at some point.
So yeah, I don't understand why you continue. He was $100 difference than Fournette last week, and yet you're playing Fournette everywhere.
I didn't play Fournette everywhere, but he got 11 targets, dude.
Well, he got 8 of them in the last minute of the fourth.
Math is math, dude. We had that projected.
Yeah. I did enjoy listening to the Gilcast this week, where Nate was just trying to defend everything. He had the worst lineup, and he played Phillip Lindsay over Miles Sanders, and then played Christian Kirk, and was just like, nope, I was right. You hate to see it. Yeah, but you did shout out Wiggins on that show, because Wiggins was talking about defenses and Jalen Ramsey shadowing.
Wiggins was right. He was right.
Shadowing him, and you listened to him. So are you coming around on defenses and defensive matchups mattering?
When someone who is a lot smarter than me, like Andrew Wiggins or TJ, says something about a specific matchup like that,
okay.
Yeah.
So you do agree that matchups do matter?
If someone else says it matters.
I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty sure I was the first in that chat to mention Ramsey.
It's possible, Tuttle. Yeah. It's possible.
And Tuttle, we need to give you
That's what I was going to do too, but you're going to do it.
You talked Davis out of playing Jonathan Williams last week with the Jordan Wilkins call, saying that he would be more involved. It was
not able to talk Sammy Reed out of it though, unfortunately.
Very, very good call there. All right, Davis, who are your preferred quarterbacks this week?
Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson has to be the first guy that you mentioned because he still is, he's the most expensive quarterback of the slate, but I don't think that he's priced up relative to what his fantasy points per game would suggest. I also have, I gotta admit, I have interest in Drew Brees at 5,900 on DraftKings. I know that the team total is pretty low, only 23.5, which is very low for them at home, and he's not even really a great value in the projections, but I just see home Drew Brees at 5,900. And, I gotta admit, I'm pretty interested in that. The main thing is I'm not playing Ryan Tannehill. Maybe I would play him in cash or whatever. Maybe, but I'm not playing that dude in tournaments. I would much rather have the Breeze Michael Thomas stack in tournaments as opposed to Ryan Tannehill.
The dude's topped out at 22 pass attempts in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, there's not a chance. There's not a chance I play that guy.
There's zero upside unless he randomly scores 2 rushing touchdowns again.
I honestly think that Ryan Tannehill has to be in some serious negative game script to be really valuable, because I think in this matchup they're just going to continue. They've been doing a lot more play action recently, but they're just going to continue just to feed Derrick Henry. Just feed him. And you are going to get maybe some long touchdowns. But
you gonna jam Derrick Henry at 8,200 in on DraftKings.com this week, bud?
I probably won't.
So when he gets that 75-yard touchdown run, I get to make fun of you.
When who gets the?
When Derrick Henry scores his 18th 75-yard touchdown of the season.
I hate
play Derrick Henry, dude. He is just I can't even.
I did play in some tournaments last week. It's just it just got railroaded by some landmines. And I want to give a shout outs to the Blitz, Derek Carty for that Robert Woods projection, because I was tilting so hard and I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't even say.
We had the same team and you were tilting. We ran so hot at the end of those 1 p.m. games.
I know. But Davis, you were talking about swapping on the Gilcast, which first,
and then Alshon got 20 points.
I was tilting though that first half when Devontae Parker. I had all Devontae Parker on FanDuel, but nothing on DraftKings. And I couldn't even say anything in our chat because I didn't want Davis to get a hold of it because he was the one tilting. So that's where we were. But I do
want
feel
me to get a hold of what?
Just the fact that I was fading Devontae. I didn't want to give you that ammo. And it turns out we had the same lineup.
Thought Devontae, he was a fine. I would not have made fun of you for fading Devontae Parker.
Well, but that was my brand guy. All right, let's move on though. Let's talk about Kansas City and New England. Going to be some points scored here. I don't know if you want to go with Brady in some tournaments.
What's your upside? What's your upside with Brady right now?
Boots on the ground. Why? Because Tom Brady vacations in Costa Rica. Hey, God, I don't want. Yeah, I like Mahomes. I mean, Brady looks so bad. I mean, where is the explosion?
His receivers look bad too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to hang my proverbial hat on anything in that offense. Let's talk about something more fun. I want to play either Ryan Fitzpatrick or Sam Darnold. Tuttle, which one can I justify more at 6,000?
I think it's Sammy this week.
Yeah.
I'm a Fitzpatrick truther, but I do think it's Sam.
I like that game. I like that game a lot.
So I just pulled up our projections on dailyroto.com, and by half a decimal, Ryan Tannehill is our top value quarterback.
On DraftKings?
On DraftKings. I hope their team total goes down or something.
I call him Drew Drunkmeyer because he's on Ryan Tannehill. Jeez, Drew, get your shit together, man. I mean,
do we just get to talk? Do we get to talk smack about Drew because he scolded Davis for the Laird touting?
Leone and Dink, they already walked it back. They've already in our private chat. They've been like, "All right, you were right," and I was. I got to run out it's almost like I knew what I was doing the entire time.
Wow, disingenuous bosses. That's awful.
You hate to see it.
Oh man. All right. So let's talk about some other plays. Kyler Murray at 5,800, Peter, against Pittsburgh. I know he's coming off a really bad game, but 5,800, this is like week 1, week 2 territory.
So here's my thing about Kyler, who I still love and I have a very soft spot for. They have 0 weapons in that offense outside of Christian Kirk. I feel like I can get all of my exposure to Kyler just via Christian Kirk at 5,200, and I don't even think I need to mess with that. Who else is making plays in that passing game?
Well, what about the running?
Well, and that's the other thing. Yeah, I just they
Didn't Fitzgerald have a decent game last week?
I don't know. Maybe I'm in Costa Rica, dude. How am I supposed to?
Remember when we would actually be talking about Damiere Byrd and Keyshawn Johnson on this podcast?
I'm old enough to remember.
Keyshawn was inactive last week, right?
He and Byrd have been trading off, being inactive every week.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those Andy Isabella teams that I had that died off in the best ball drafts last week.
It is tough. 5,800. For Kyler when you could play Drew Brees for 100 more. I mean, that's a tough
I would much rather play Kyler in his legs.
Kyler gets 18 here every time probably.
Than Drew Brees against San Francisco at home.
I mean, just play Duck Hodges for the same price as Drew Brees, right?
No, I mean, we probably... So two of the guys we haven't talked about.
Imagine playing Duck Hodges this week.
Oh,
I can imagine it.
Did he get there? Did he get there for you? Did he 4X?
I'm pretty sure he 3.5X, which is pretty much a 4X.
Mr. Big Town guaranteed it.
Looked bad in the first half. All right, Jameis and Deshaun. Tuttle, I noticed that you had Deshaun in one of your cash game filters on Lineup HQ. Talk about the Deshaun against Denver at home.
Yeah, it's more of a pricing thing on him. He's gotten to week B where he's relatively cheap across the industry. He's 6,500 on DraftKings. He is 7,700 on FanDuel, which I haven't looked historically. That I assume that's his cheapest price tag on FanDuel this season. And we've seen his upside. He has a solid floor with his legs as well. So yeah, it's more of a pricing than me loving him, but at home against the Broncos, kind of a middling matchup, but I just don't think there's any quarterback that really stands out as the play this week. So kind of just going with Watson there in that mid-range.
It's going to be so tough to fade him on FanDuel. I mean, you got Lamar for 1,300 more, but
what site is that? I haven't heard of it.
I thought you had $300 on there.
Actually, I think I still do, although it might be down to $250 now. Little Thanksgiving Day indiscretions on Schmanduel.
Quarterback is so hard. Why? This is crazy.
It is. It's really hard.
Yeah, I guess on DraftKings for cash games, I would lean Lamar, but that's you saying okay, Ian Thomas better get 5 targets.
We haven't talked about the number 1 points per dollar value in the blitz, my Laird and Savior, Derek Carr. Can you go to Derek Carr?
Yeah, not playing that guy.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
He would be the cheap guy.
He is really cheap, though. He's $5K.
He would be the cheap guy to play on DraftKings, for sure.
I'll tell you what you do. You play D. Hember. You do a little Derek Carr to Darren Waller. You run all the way to the bank.
Not hating it. All right, let's do a DraftKings lineup, shall we? I'm just going to edit this Week 14 bankroll challenge lineup I have right now.
Now that it's been revealed in what country I'm in, where you're not legally allowed to play DraftKings, I'll be building my lineup on this piece of stationery in my hotel room. So,
we did not talk about Peter's FanDuel name that was revealed.
The FF Comedy Hour _Pete. Hold on, I need to Google the FF Comedy Hour because I don't even know what that is.
this is
True story.
That's his old podcast, right?
True story. Socrdave was a guest on the FF Comedy Hour.
Yeah, that's his old podcast, mate.
25 ratings. The last show was broadcast January 20th, 2017 with the reunion show on August 18th, 2019.
It had a cult following. Basically me having my FanDuel name like that would be like Davis having his FanDuel name as Little T. Is basically
Little T, the dilemma.
Well, Dave has gotten on me for when I got my RotoGrinders account set up. He was hoping for some super cool handle, and I just said Pete Overzet, and he roasted me for that. So I can't win. I need something cool. Like the Viper.
Or just like a Pete Overzet, not Poverzet.
That's my Gmail.
But FF Comedy Hour _Pete is like hands down the worst DFS handle I've ever. It's worse than your revertsy top or whatever it is.
I like that one actually.
Thanks,
All right.
Tuttle. I needed that, buddy. I needed that.
I got you.
Let's start with you, Tuttle. You go first.
Let us go with a guy whose quarterback may not be able to throw him the ball.
Uh-oh.
Because his hand is messed up. Odell Beckham.
Whoa, baby.
Bro, I saw in hot new hip hop this morning that he wants out of Cleveland.
Oof.
Hey, he didn't say he wanted out. He just said you don't know what tomorrow holds. When they ask
He's
him,
so cheap.
If
you know what happens out of this, right? He spends the year in purgatory with the Browns. The Patriots trade a third rounder for him, and he's a Patriot next year.
Great fit.
All right. So Odell against Cincinnati.
I like it, Tutsky.
All right, Peter, you go next.
Well, I told you that I wanted to play one of two quarterbacks. I got Tuttle Insurance.
Okay.
Sam Darnold.
I like the Sam Darnold call this week. I mean, if Carson Wentz can get there, Sam Darnold can get there.
Amen. And we're all leading to correlation play, and I swear to God, if anyone messes this up, I will go shut my laptop and enjoy the rest of my vacation.
All right, I'll just go ahead and plug in Laird right now. Davis?
You took my guy.
I took your. Oh, how rich! Peter, did you hear that? I took Davis's guy.
I will go Devontae Adams against Washington. Guys, a 33% market share of the Green Bay targets since he returned. Rodgers is he's over Geronimo. MVS is dead. I think Jimmy Graham, the last time he was, able to get above 3 miles an hour was during the Bush administration.
How much does he cost, Davis?
He's $8K, buddy.
In this economy, Davis?
He's not cheap.
For the listeners at home, this is what we got so far.
All right. Let's go with Tuttle.
Let us save a little salary with Deontay Johnson.
Ooh.
He didn't go hunting with Duck, but he's cheap AF. Going up against Arizona, good outpaced matchup for the Steelers.
4,300. All right, Pete.
I want to play a tight end that I like. You guys won't let me play Derek Carr, but that means I can play Waller the Baller without Hunter Renfrow, who turns into another man without Mr. Renfrow.
Waller the Baller at 5,800. That means if we can't really go Cardinals defense now. So let's say we went cheap, like
don't say
Buxty.
it. Schmuxty?
Buxty. Yeah. At 2,300, we'd be left with 6,600 left per player at running back and flex. So, Davis, you have anybody you want to play there?
How much salary?
I'm going to get my abacus out. I'll let you know.
6,600 left per player for running back and a flex.
Well, there are definitely some playable running backs around there. I think that Mark Ingram is kind of an interesting one. And what are we doing with Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler? They're 6,400 and 6,300. This should be like a Melvin Gordon spot, but Eckler's just been taking all the touchdowns. He has 4 touchdowns in the Chargers last 6 games, but I think both of them are going to show up in optimals this week.
Here's what I would do. I'd rearrange it, maybe pay up for a little more defense, and get Duke Johnson in there. 3,900 for Duke is cheap AF.
Duke and the Laird. You had me at the Laird.
I mean, people will play Laird over Duke Johnson this week.
Duh.
As they should.
Tuttle, how much did it pain you to set Laird's ownership percentage this week?
I haven't done it. Jamino, we're actually side chatting about it now. He set it pretty high, though. I think in my response,
like 87% probably.
No, it was like in the maybe 20, around 20 on DraftKings. I think he said it at 22% initially.
I like that, Jamino.
If you go Michael Thomas at flex, then you can actually pair Duke with the Houston Texans defense.
Perfectly correlated.
Easy game. Let's move on to running back. Tuttle, I'm going to ask you about Patrick Laird because I feel like there might be some recency bias and confirmation bias and podcast bias with these other two. What are you doing, Patrick Laird?
It's trickled over to me too. I have
he's a Stockholm syndrome, bro.
I have no idea. Zero idea. That's basically what I said to Chris. I said I have no idea because it started out as a joke. Now the stars are aligning and no idea.
No, but not just talk about him as a play, not as what his ownership's going to be.
Yeah, as a play, I have no idea.
As a play. Are you feeling that 10 carries for 5-yard performance last week?
Right? I mean, he's just
you don't
absolutely
understand
smashed.
the thesis to the play.
Yeah. I mean,
what if can I give you a piece of relevant information, Tuttle, and then you can maybe factor this into your projection. Yesterday, I sent him a text with 3 flex muscle emojis. Does that change anything for you? Knowing that he received that from me, that kind of encouragement.
Wait, you actually did send him a text?
I would show it on here, but yeah, we text.
Should I show mine?
No, because you're going to reveal his phone. No, I am so pissed about this. You know what Davis
Look at my blue text with Patrick Laird, bro.
Dave, you are going to have a meal out of this. Davis has the balls to text this guy about getting Zach Zenner on a podcast that shall not be named.
Yeah,
I didn't ask him. I didn't ask him if he wanted to do the podcast. I just texted him asking if he met Zenner, and he said he did. He said he was nice.
Oh, you're playing the long con.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do what?
Because Dave, all we are to Davis are just pawns in his little iTunes game. That's all. He just shuffles us all around the board.
It started with Brian Hill. Not a bit. Started with Brian Hill. Him dropping Brian Hill's name on the Laird pod was next level.
I mean, we dropped Janice on there too. The OG.
Davis, Alvin Kamara this week against San Francisco.
So he is in about half of our top 100 optimals. I don't know how, you gotta play this dude, right? It's Alvin Kamara for 7,000. What's he's gonna get 10 carries and, I mean, in a competitive game you would think is even better for him. And this is a very meaningful game for both of these teams in terms of playoff seeding. They're not going to go easy on Kamara, right? This should be a full steam ahead game for him.
The last time Alvin Kamara got in the end zone, I literally had never heard the name Patrick Laird. I heard he's a regression candidate for the end zone. I don't know what that means, but
is he regression candidate like Leonard Fournette, who gets these carries at the 1 yard line, and you just look and you know he's never ever getting in? Probably the most frustrating part.
Buy low model, Leonard Fournette, dude. Fat CMC in the buy low. You love to see it.
The ground yards buy low model.
Shout out to Robert Woods, by the way, for last week, just dominating. Let's go, Tuttle. Your thought process, not just on Kamara, but also Michael Thomas as well in this game.
I think Kamara is cheap.
Yeah,
Michael Thomas is actually cheap as well.
He's like 8,300 on DK.
He's like the best. Michael Thomas is like the best play of the slate.
Maybe you let Tuttle talk for once, David.
Yeah, I mean, Davis, did he ask you the question or? Some of it actually may be dependent upon what you think Richard Sherman's status for this game is going to be, or if you think he's going to be limited as well. The Saints are obviously smart enough to scheme Thomas away anyway, but that would have some barring on Thomas's status as being one of the top plays. I think Kamara is a cash game option. Michael Thomas, hard not to call him a cash game option with his consistency, but I don't know. I think people will play Devontae Adams over Michael Thomas for $300 less, and I think that's what I'm leaning currently. But at the same time, I think Thomas is still a really good play.
Oh man, there's obviously like, is Christian McCaffrey going to be owned this week?
Yes.
I think he might be on people's radars, Dave.
Yeah, you think so? Even with the coaching change?
The coaching change spooks me. I wonder if he'll maybe get 29 touches instead of 30.
Well,
yeah.
there are a couple different ways you could do it. You could say the team is not going to compete. They did it last year where towards the end of the season they started playing him less. Or you could say all these guys are coaching for future jobs, so why would they not just ride McCaffrey? Why would they not just try and stick with what works and obviously use Kyle Allen less because Kyle Allen is the worst.
Or maybe try to use Christian McCaffrey even more than they did last week.
That's what I just said.
Was that a little D acapella track we just got there?
That was a little sneak preview of something I'm working on.
Hey, what's your SoundCloud again? You have a rap?
Oh, don't let him plug this.
If you just search Takecast, it shows
Don't
up.
let him plug it. I knew. You walked right into that, Tuttle.
I mean, if he wants to plug the rap that he has on SoundCloud,
it's not even a plug. It's just I don't want it to go away, so it's just been there forever.
Levitan let you off the hook so hard, letting you say that it's an actually good song.
It is. It's a classic, dude.
No, it's terrible.
It's not, though.
It is.
It's not any
terrible.
better or worse than like a Lil Xan song.
Pop rap.
I like
you the original
you can only
pop rap
compare
kid?
yourself to other littles. It's way better than Little Bow Wow, dude. Like,
Peter's such a boomer. He like literally doesn't even know like who these littles are. He doesn't know that's the move these days.
Are you kidding, dude? Me and Little Bow Wow were both offered full rights to USC with OJ Mayo, or was that Little Romeo?
You and Boomer Socrdave with your frickin' Android phones and your green text box.
Are you an Android, Dave?
I got an iPhone.
Tuttle, what do you have?
Tuttle's got an iPhone.
iPhone.
Jesus.
It's a little old. I need a new one. I need an updated one.
Got the S6 Max. Don't worry about it. All right. Speaking of running backs, there are so many plays this week. That's why I'm just not sure about Patrick Laird this week. I know.
I almost spit out my beer, but then I was like, I'm not going to ruin my computer.
I know. You've got not just Christian McCaffrey, but we talked about Duke Johnson. I think I like Duke better than Patrick.
You can't. Wait. How could you possibly trust that usage?
Hang on. I'm going to ask Dave 2 questions in a row that he has to answer honestly. Dave, did you win a lot of money last week using the blitz to help inform some of your lineup decisions?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Question number 2. Who is the number 1 points per dollar value that's not a QB in the blitz this week?
It's Patrick Laird. Who's number 3?
I rest my case, Your Honor. Pound the gavel.
Who's number 3, though?
a guy that is a scat back?
Duke Johnson. He's not a scat back. He's the same size. He's a freaking same size as Aaron Jones.
Dude, Laird though, that's a beefy boy.
All right. Anyways, continuing the theme of running backs, you've got Fournette, you've got you've got Derrick Henry at 8.2K. That's, like David said, he still might get there. And you also have James White. Like, James White
how do you not play Kamara, dude? 7K.
I get it. I definitely think that James White is like the guy you want to play in your Mahomes stacks. Because if Mahomes goes off, then James White is just going to get 30 dump-offs.
So the thesis on James White is you play him in hopes of getting his second only blow-up game of the year? Is that kind of the thought process behind that?
The thought process is Tom Brady trusts 2 people right now.
Giselle?
3 people. Giselle.
His son. That he kisses on
4 people. Giselle.
Kraft.
Edelman, Giselle, the kissing son, James White.
The guy who makes the cucumber smoothies.
What about the guy who makes his Instagram videos?
Dude, that guy's so funny, man. That guy's really funny.
Peter wishes he had that job. Like, that's actually Peter's dream job, is being in charge of Tom Brady's social media.
Oh man, that account would take a real weird turn if I had the reins.
It turned into like Patrick Laird fanfic of the Patriots trading.
Brady and Laird would. Oh, the 3 of us together.
Dude, Patrick Laird is a great fit for the Patriots, I think.
Peter and I were talking last week and about that social media guy, and Peter goes, he would have been a great fit on the FF Comedy Hour. Like that
I
was
never
his.
said that, Dave. I never.
That was his first thought. All right. Any other running back takes? Tuttle, you got any FanDuel running back takes since you're wearing the?
We didn't even get to a guy who has a great projection on DK.
Is your name Tuttle?
Who? Devonta Freeman?
Kenyon Drake.
That's what I'm saying. There are tons of plays this week. There are tons of plays.
Freeman's the best value. Freeman's the best value running back of the slate. That includes our Laird and Savior, Patrick.
Wow, blasphemous, but
he's 5.4K on DraftKings. What about FanDuel, Tuts?
FanDuel, it's a lot of the same. Kamara's still cheap on FanDuel as well.
No, Freeman's 6K.
Whew. Yeah, Freeman's 6K. The guy that you're not playing, just like his price hiked up on DraftKings, is boots on the ground, Derrick Henry. There was somebody else I wanted to mention.
Nick Chubb against Cincinnati.
Yeah, Chubb was the guy. He's 7,900. I think he's an interesting play. If we wanted to talk a little bit about Kenyon Drake, I think he's an interesting guy. That was one of the projection notes or ownership projections I talked about with Jamino today, is he has Kenyon Drake as one of the top 5 owned running backs on DraftKings. And I think projection systems he's spitting out pretty well, but I still think people will be slow to kind of adapt to him being the guy in Arizona. People still see David Johnson. They don't realize that he's only playing, 5, 6, 7 snaps or whatever it is.
And Edmonds was straight up inactive last week despite being healthy.
Yeah, Chase Edmonds.
We call that a healthy scratch.
Yeah, Edmonds didn't play. So, yeah, I mean, if Drake's a fine play, he's one of those guys, not a good matchup. And I'm hesitant. Anytime there's so many bodies there, they can just do anything just change everything up on a week-by-week basis, which scares me a little bit. I played Kenyon Drake on my main GPP team last week, but I'm still a little scared. Like, I understand what the last couple of weeks have told us in terms of his workload, but when there's always more bodies there, it's a little scary still.
Tuttle, theoretically, if I cared about ownership projections, where would you have Nick Chubb this week?
Very low.
Really? Why is that?
Yes, on DraftKings specifically.
FanDuel, he's a much better value. There's just so many plays. We haven't even talked about Lev Bell against Miami.
That's because Le'Veon Bell showed his last bit of explosion in 2017. There's just no point in playing this guy. If you want to play a fast, slow running back, play Leonard Fournette. The point
is that he's playing the Miami Dolphins.
Patrick Laird will score more fantasy points than Le'Veon Bell. You want to bet me, Kitchen?
Yes, Kitchen. Bet 25, and I'll take your money while we're at it. _Pete.
I mean, I have to. Okay.
No, oh my gosh, Peter, FF Comedy Hour, Pete just almost tried to weasel out of that.
No, I mean, I just got bullied into losing money, but it's fine.
I mean, how much? Just think of it as buying another cake.
Oh, it's true. Did you? Man,
his girlfriend saw you eating the cake, right?
Yeah.
No, Pete.
Just think
Patrick
about it.
Himself watched Peter eat the cake.
Go ahead.
I will say, Peter, no matter what happens in life, no matter what art you produce, no matter what happens, if he scores and does eating cake celebration, it'll be the peak. You just retire.
I don't know what I'll even do with myself if he eats the cake. I will. I mean, Peter, it would be so massive.
I don't even know what I'd do, man.
I just can't wait till 20 years from now once that happens, Davis telling his kids about Patrick Laird doing his cake celebration.
It's Peter's cake celebration, but he said he might do it on my podcast.
Oh, God. I hate this guy. Can we get this little druggie in the left-hand corner off the show?
Not little druggy, little D. The
D stands for druggy.
Hey, when you search for the podcast on the iTunes store under publisher name, it doesn't say Sports Grid or Daily Roto. It just says Davis Mattek. So I just need you to know that that's what people associate it.
That's called branding, Peter. It's called branding. All right.
At that Comedy Hour.
My hotel room phone is ringing.
Room service. I hope it's somebody speaking to him in Espanol.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a bit with Patrick Laird, but it's not. Let's move on to wide receiver. Okay. You mentioned Deontay Johnson, Tuttle against Arizona, 5,100 on FanDuel. Since we've been talking about FanDuel, he's like the cheap play you want to play this week. Any other cheap plays you got if you spend up on running back for whatever reason this week?
Yeah, it seems like playing guys against the Arizona Cardinals leads to more fantasy points for some reason. So that's the Deontay Johnson reasoning. Other cheap wide receiver options, Tyler Boyd's still relatively cheap. Christian Kirk, people will be off him. He's still cheap. He's only 5,900 on FanDuel as well.
He's 5,200 on DraftKings, which is still, I feel like, is going to be cheap for him if he gets a bunch of targets, if he's not shadowed by world class.
Somehow our projections are not all over him, which I'm very surprised by. They like Johnson a lot more, like points per dollar.
So
you've got Julian Edelman at 7.1K.
The cheap boots on the ground though, guy Dave, is AJ Brown, yeah. But I want to point out, he did pop up on the injury report. He's on the injury report for hamstring injury, and there's some news that he left practice really early on Thursday, so that is worth monitoring. Corey Davis is supposedly back, so if AJ Brown's a no-go, Corey Davis is, I think, 3,900 on DraftKings, 5K on FanDuel.
Remember when Corey Davis went 4th overall?
It was 6th, buddy. Get it right. Idiot.
It's on the ground. I should have known you'd fact check me on that.
Where did they draft Derrick Henry?
He was actually a 2nd-round pick. He was part of the trade back that they did when they traded the
Kitchen. Boots on the ground. Where's Marcus Mariota going to play next year?
Not in Tennessee.
I was going to say the St. Louis Battlehawks, maybe.
They'll probably sign Tannehill to a 1-year deal and draft him.
And he'll just turn Bigley back into a pumpkin.
Yeah. Like if they give him a long-term deal, like I'm enjoying the Tanner thrill ride this year, but if they give him a long-term deal off of this, it'll be over.
Oh,
Hang on. I got a Will, actually, my mentor. Dave, we were both wrong. He's drafted 5th overall. Get your boots shine, buddy.
Yeah,
what's the difference? DJ Moore this week. Davis.
I mean, the fella just prints, but his salary has now, it's now appropriate with both his efficiency and his target volume. So he's just kind of a guy that I will, like, just, if he ends up in my tournament mix, fine. I probably, oh man, you ready for me to make the most off-brand statement of my entire fantasy career? You guys ready for this?
Are you going to tout a slow dude?
I'm going to tout a white guy instead.
Oh god.
I think I'd rather just have Edelman in tournaments, because I think this is going to be a big establish it game for Carolina.
I was going to ask, DJ Moore, Edelman, and Mike Evans, like,
Evans
tournament or fade. You like Evans the most?
Yeah.
He's
the number 3 wide receiver in fantasy.
It's going to be a big establish it game for us, old Sony Michel and the Patriots too.
Can I get the under on that? Guy played 17% of the snaps last week.
Actually,
they're going to establish it as much as they can with him.
Last year, that was so annoying when they did that against Kansas City.
Very hard. It's going to be very hard for them to establish it down 10-0.
On that Sunday night game, it was...
Tuttle, I'm on your side on this one. Set a line so I can get those Mattek bucks.
Okay, I'll take Patrick Laird versus Sony Michel. 25?
I can't do, that's not fair. Tuttle, set a line.
You just take the DR projection, whatever they have for Sony.
Yeah, what do you have it?
It's gonna be small.
It's gonna be low.
10.3.
Okay, I'll take the over, and then I can make fun of both you and Dunkmeyer.
Yeah, I got the under.
So happy. All right, let's talk about Jets receivers against this Miami team. Who's the Jet receiver to own, Tuttle, this week?
The Jets receiver? Yep. Robbie. It's the same thing every week, right? Robbie and GPP, Jameson and Cash.
Davis, you agree?
I mean, I probably won't have very much of them at all because I don't think that seems like a game that I'm really trying to stack. I would think so. I mean, maybe I would allow some of it, but I don't think either of them are like particularly big. Well, Crowder is in on DR, but Robbie Anderson is not really.
Honest question to my brother Davis. Why don't you like that game?
I was about to ask, why don't you like points?
Well, you're going to have the combination of the quarterbacks not being very good, so that makes the total more volatile, and then you're going to have the fact that these guys are actually carrying like decent ownership projections on them. So we have Jamison Crowder at like 14%. We're going to have Robbie Anderson won't really be owned, but Devontae Parker will be after that game. So it's like bad quarterbacks. People like relatively owned. I don't know. It's not that seem for me.
It was the same sentiment last week with Wentz and Fitzpatrick, 2 bad quarterbacks. But the Dolphins just every single week give up huge fantasy.
Well, our stuff was all over Wentz. Our stuff is not nearly as much on Darnold or Fitzpatrick.
Also, I'm going to go ahead and say that Devontae Parker will not be chalky this week at 6,900
Say it, Dave.
on DraftKings.
What do you guys have him projected for?
Tutskis.
Tuttle?
Ownership?
Yeah.
Let me bring it up. Devontae Parker.
We have him at 10.5 right now.
Yeah, we got 9%.
We have him at 9%.
Yeah.
I'd put him at under 10%. I mean, the only reason why and definitely less than that. Cash.
I mean, the only
reason why people will play him is because people are playing the Jets players, and you have to bring it back with somebody. So people are going to bring it back with either Laird or
so just stacking a Ryan Fitzpatrick Sam Darnold game. Sure, I totally get why people are doing it. I totally understand why people want to attack the matchup. But if that's going to be like even a semi-popular strategy, I'd rather not.
Well, the thing is, Davis, is when Patrick Laird is going to be 75% owned, you got to find unique ways to
stack a game. Yeah, I'm just getting all my exposure to that game via our Laird.
That's fair.
All right. Any other plays before we move on to the FanDuel lineup?
the total of that game is jumping. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I moved the market, Tuts.
What's it at right now?
Open at 43.5. It's up to 46.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to like 48, obviously stuff is going to look a lot different in our projections. But as of right now, only Jamison Crowder is popping as like a top value.
All right. Let's move on. Talk about the FanDuel lineup.
FanDuel, NFL, DraftKings.
FanDuel, NFL, Maine, 7 o'clock. No, that's NBA.
Does anyone ever build their lineups with the guru assistance on FanDuel?
All the time.
Dude, how else do you think I'm in cash?
I don't, but I will say this. If you're a premium member, having the Chrome extension, the FanDuel Chrome extension is very nice because you can see percentages, you can see Vegas totals, and you can see like all the different core filters, expert filters that we have.
Okay, hold on. Can I pick first?
Yes, you can.
Okay, guru suggestions. Do we want Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, or Deshaun Watson?
Dude, I love the guru. The guru knows.
I'm getting different.
Yeah, I'm getting
Costa Rica.
I think they just give
Lamar.
Dude, how do all of the Twitter nerds not get mad about the guru? Isn't that just as bad as people having the same lineup in double ups?
The guru is the equivalent of a lineup sharing syndicate that is destroying the very fabric of the game that many people feed their families with.
My take on that whole thing is I think it's entertaining the people that think that you gain some sort of edge running the same lineup in double ups. But I think it's also equally entertaining the people that have shared lineups for the past 10,000 slates that say they're not sharing lineups. I think both sides are very entertaining.
All right, and I don't want to re-spark a controversy. Can we please move on, Tuttle? Did you just give me a quarterback or?
I gave you 3 options. We have Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, or Deshaun Watson.
And I'd also like to throw Drew Brees into the mix just because my groovers kind of point me in that direction.
Well, I'm getting Jameis Winston and Lamar and Deshaun. So
okay, so Deshaun's the overlap.
Do we have a disingenuous guru on our hands?
Oh, it's telling me to stack now.
Dude, I heard stacking's actually good for tournaments.
It says double down on the Texans. Consider stacking Deshaun Watson with the receiving options from the Texans.
Give me Fells, baby.
Nope, not an option. We got Hopkins, Fuller, and Stills.
Tuttle, you're taking the show off the rails, dude. Just get it together, man.
Okay,
all right, Davis, who you got?
Defense.
Well, I'm not gonna take Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna let us cook a little bit. So I'm gonna take the fat net.
I thought you were going with Dalvin. I was confused for a second.
I wouldn't play Dalvin Cook on my burner account, which is at the FF Comedy Hour _Davis.
Dude, the joke's on you, man. This my old podcast is going to get so many downloads after this, man.
Make sure you just search Socrdave FF Comedy Hour.
Yeah,
we were hilarious together. It was when I knew this thing was really going to take off. Devonta Freeman would be my pick, just so we can save some money.
Okay, so we got Deshaun and we got Devonta.
And Fat Net.
And Fat Net. Peter?
Fetlin.
Well, because Davis doesn't know what a brand is anymore, I'll play DJ Moore for him.
I think Daily Roto is just like very biased towards Julian Edelman. This guy's projected for so many points.
Dude, DJ Moore.
It's almost like he's the only receiving option, only wide receiver that Brady trusts right now.
It's almost like that.
You saw him kill N'Keal Harry last week. Gave up that interception, that lazy route.
Dude, Siege was right about N'Keal Harry. He can't run those routes. He's outside only.
If I had $1 for every time someone said Siege was right, I would be a rich.
In a dynasty group thread that I'm in with Siege, he compared N'Keal Harry to Calvin Johnson.
How many witnesses were in that thread, David?
10 to 12?
The best is when he complains about customer service. That's what gets me. All right. Let's chat about this FanDuel lineup.
We got Watson,
FanDuel,
Freeman,
NFL,
Fournette,
DraftKings.
Moore.
I feel like we have been chatting about it, Dave.
Well, I'm just trying to move on.
I'll chat.
Tuttle?
You know what? I'm going to bring it back in this Jacksonville game. I have a kind of a low-owned guy here that I think could have a decent game.
Does he rhyme with Schmunter Fenry?
No, people will play Schmunter Fenry, and he'll be high-owned.
Is it mine with Schmike Schmilliams?
No, you guys are proving my point.
Does it rhyme with Schmeenan Ballin?
There we go. You guys, thank you for making my point for me. People are going to play
Keenan Allen was like too obvious for me. I thought that you would go like more terrible.
It's not obvious. People are not going to play Keenan Allen. He's only 6,800 on FanDuel. He's cheap on DraftKings as well. I want to say 6.6. Yeah, 66 on DraftKings. He hasn't had 100 yards receiving in a while. It's going to happen this week.
So he's a better FanDuel play because you're not counting on the arbitrary bonus, dude.
No, I'm getting that bonus.
I'm teaching you how to tout, bro.
Name your podcast with your name. I'm going to teach you how to tout.
I'm going to teach you how to tout. Definitely call your podcast the FF Comedy Hour. That's the first step to touting.
It actually is a good name. It tells you exactly what the show is.
Right.
Take Cast. Patrick Laird goes, isn't take spelled wrong?
Yeah,
He
the guy with the podcast named TakeCast is giving name suggestions.
Hey, guys, it's very good SEO because no one else spells it that way.
Yeah. And basically just ripped off the SWOLECAST, by the way.
Definitely. There's nothing else called the cast.
Nope, nothing.
Thank you.
Nothing? Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, it's my turn to pick, and it is DeHimber. It is DeHimber season.
Come on.
We got 600 pounds of running back in this lineup with Fournette and Derrick Henry.
I didn't say I was picking. I didn't say I was picking Derrick Henry. I just said it is DeHimber season, and with DeHimber season also brings the holidays. And there's a popular song called Peter. You know it.
No, but Tuttle knows it better. Let him go.
Galladay.
It's not Galladay. But if you wanted to pair Galladay with this guy, you could. With your nose so bright, won't you guide my lineup tonight?
This is like the worst play of the slate.
Why would you take the worst tight end on their team?
He just wanted to do the song. I guarantee it.
He's 4,800. 4,800. After that second half last week, bro. And the holidays,
Kitchen. This is literally just you trying to like work a bit out. This is FF Comedy Hour _ David Kitchen.
He is 4,800.
All right, show us your pad of paper where you say have to sing Rudolph.
If you guys won the $100, $50, $20, $5, and $1 flash draft in the third quarter like I did last week with Kyle Rudolph twice in there, you would be playing Kyle Rudolph again.
This is somehow worse than talking about your best ball shares. I mean, it's actually way worse. Flash draft?
My flash draft? I won the third quarter flash draft with Kyle Rudolph.
You laugh, but it helped me, it helped offset some very bad lineups that night.
I think there are 15 tight ends for their salary. I would play over Kyle Rudolph in this slate.
Okay.
Well, so I call because there's zero chance Davis knows any FanDuel salaries.
Yeah, no, give me one.
I got FanDuel
is it Nick Boyle? Is it Nick Boyle?
List them off, Davis, one by one.
Okay, guys, I would play over Kyle Rudolph.
Wait, go to DR, sort by tight end value. I bet you Rudolph is top.
I think. Well, I don't know if we're projecting Adam Thielen in or out, but I bet he's not. Or no way our stuff is gonna like Rudolph. We always hate guys like that.
Good plays.
I just did it.
Oh no.
Tell me Rudolph is a top play.
Oh, the top value if you sort by value.
At minus 0.3 value. We have him projected for 9 FanDuel points.
Oh man, this is as good as when Dink was talking bad. Oh, I forget who the receiver even was.
Well, when we give
player comp, his player comp was the guy that won him the $1 million. I'm getting old because I can't think of his name.
Marcus Wilson.
Oh yeah.
No, the guy that he said was bad ended up being. Oh no, it's Adam Thielen. I was on Adam Thielen. He was like, Adam Thielen's so bad, and he looked up his player profiler comp, and it was Marcus Wilson.
You gotta own yourself to own the libs, Dave.
I don't mind pairing Rudolph with Galladay to complete the holiday theme for this, though.
Shouldn't we save that for like Christmas week, though?
Probably. All right. Let's wrap this sucker up. Give me a wide receiver, Peter.
Well, I don't really like the direction that this has gone. I wanted to play Will Fuller, but then that would be leaving a ton of salary on the table. So why don't we play Fuller, which is a great idea by me, and then we upgrade Galladay.
Yeah, we don't have. I'm not saying to play Galladay. I'm not saying that.
You just wanted to sing the song.
Maybe you and Tuttle could put out a Christmas DFS album with your songs.
Is there a Christmas version of Old MacDonald? Because we might have to do that.
We'll have to do a Christmas version to the Right Above It remix.
This guy always brings it back to his podcast. He's just such a shill.
I don't even know what that is, the Right Above It.
Right Above It's the name of his song.
The Right Above It is literally anyone Davis is standing next to.
Another short joke.
At the Comedy Hour, Pete strikes again.
Yeah, bring it back.
It's in the day, baby.
All right.
Good thing that we followed up last week's really bad show with a really strong effort this week.
I really feel like this show's not been that bad.
It's not been good at all.
I gotta pee really bad, so let's just wrap this.
All right, yeah.
Let's wrap this up. That's what she said.
If you went Fuller, actually, let's just go Hopkins over Fuller.
Oh, so you're just gonna negate my pick? Like, why am I even
That's
on
exactly.
the show?
It's exactly
so David
what
is
I'm
just
doing.
making the lineup for us.
Yeah,
and then we have actually Devontae Adams that you could put in the flex if you want the cheap defense. All right, let's move on to tight end. Tuttle, give me a cheap tight end not named Kyle Rudolph that you like this week.
I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of clarity on the Panthers situation in terms of who's actually going to be kind of the lead tight end there. We've heard that it's going to be a split between Ian Thomas, Manhurts, and then they even said through the.
I think I call on that bullshit. I think no way. I think it's just going to be Thomas.
I kind of call a little bit too, but it does muddy the waters a little bit. But if you're in that, if you're down with playing a little bit of Ian Thomas, he's min price on both FanDuel and DraftKings. I think he would be the cheapest option you can go.
All right, Davis, are you punting tight end this week, or are you playing Darren Waller?
Well, I definitely will be playing a cheap tight end. The who that cheap tight end is a lot more difficult since the team is unwilling to just be honest with us about how they plan on using Ian Thomas. Hunter Henry is our top value, but I think that I like Noah Fant more, and Jack Doyle at 4,600 is pretty intriguing to me as well. And then if we want to double dolphin it up, fins up, Mike Gesicki. He has at least 6 targets in each of his last 6 games, and has scored a touchdown in 2 straight. And
too bad you don't like that game. Otherwise, you could play him. It'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I think I shouldn't cash. I should just go Laird, Gesicki, Fitzpatrick, bring it back, Crowder.
I'm waiting for the joke. I'm still waiting for the joke.
Yeah. Same here. Sounds like a good lineup to me.
Sounds like what my spy lineup's gonna be.
All right. I don't know why you would go with Jack Doyle when you can just pay a few $100 more, just $1,300 more.
In this economy, Dave.
In this economy?
For George Kittle. Or $1,200 more for Darren Waller.
Well, I don't have unlimited salary cap. I don't know if you emailed your player representative and was able to unlock that. They came in very clutch for me, and they unexcluded D.D. Westbrook from my account last week, so that I was allowed to play him again.
Davis,
It was very kind.
Davis, I heard that joke. I heard that joke on the Gilcast. It was like FF Comedy Hour light. It was
let me do an FF Comedy Hour bit. Okay, imagine that I'm the FanDuel VIP representative on my headset here, calling up Socrdave.
Yeah.
Hey, Socrdave, we just saw that you were crushing those $1 flash drafts, and we're actually going to give you an extra $5,000 in salary cap this weekend. Thank you so much for your patronage. Hope you can. Oh, love you.
Joke's on you. It's a DraftKings thing.
Flash drafts?
If you're not playing flash drafts on the
Dude, Peter's not even a grinder, bro. FF Comedy Hour Pete doesn't even grind.
He doesn't know about those.
That's sad.
Those grind slates. The great thing about Pete is that when he hit his mic, he actually muted himself.
Yeah. We can't hear you, pal.
Muted. I think there's like a button.
There's a button.
There's a button. He just muted himself.
You know that headset is like the old shitty one you sent me when we worked for Fantasy Insiders?
Well, that was like 2013. You know, I did also buy you that mic you have now. So, okay. Well, while Peter figures out how to push buttons, so weird from an Android user. All right.
Can I get some fries, Peter?
Linda! He's the Linda gift right now. This is the best thing ever. All right. Tuttle, any other tight ends that you like this week?
I mean, the top end actually is pretty loaded, and it'll be interesting to see ownership. I think it will be really spread out.
Kittle or Waller?
I'll take Waller.
Davis?
Kittle.
Peter? Oh, good take.
He's so mad. He's typing in our chat. He says, "I'm done with this show. What's the question? I'll answer here. Please relay it."
When the bit goes wrong.
Waller.
Oh,
when keeping it real goes wrong.
He says Waller, all caps.
All right.
You dipshits.
I will say I am looking at the filters, and you might have heard of Squirrel Patrol. He's won a lot of money out there. Has Kyle Rudolph as a GPP play.
Do these people not know that Thielen's playing this week?
There you have it. Peter's trying to threaten us, but we won't even say him. All right.
I can't believe he muted himself, dude. What a rookie. It's good when Tuttle starts giggling too.
This is like around the horn when they get to mute somebody.
Yeah.
I'm just watching him on the side screen. It's so good.
So awesome. All right.
He's just furiously typing.
All right.
Very flustered.
Final thoughts, Davis, about this slate.
Well, we didn't talk about Kansas City Chiefs running backs at all, and I don't know. I'm pretty interested if we were going to get like a workhorse LaShawn McCoy game. He is $4,400 on DraftKings, and I would be, I would really like to play that guy.
They said that the coach speak was that he knows LaShawn McCoy is not getting any younger this week, and he's going to spread the carries out. So I would not like to play him. I would probably play Darwin Thompson's what I'm thinking.
Well, no.
All right,
so that's
Tuttle.
The thing. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. I'm just saying, if you're playing anyone from that backfield, you're probably playing Darwin Thompson.
I mean, if they didn't sign Spencer Ware, Darwin would be a legit play.
I'll go give Overzet's final thoughts before I give mine. It says, read this. I demand you read it. Don't censor me. Just because I'm in a third world country doesn't mean I don't exist. I'll give you my final thoughts. Darwin Thompson, steady drum beat. McCoy sucks. Davis sucks. Davis would want to play LaShawn. I literally was in Mexico. They don't want to use him. Darwin. It's evolutionary biology. Read my message. The people deserve this. Thank you. So those are Peter's final thoughts. My final thought is that Curtis Samuel is going to break the slate.
Curtis Samuel, is that your total terrible take?
There it is.
All right, there you go. All right, I know we read your messages, but do you have anything you want to plug this week, Peter? Nope. Okay, well, that will do it for the Week 14 RotoGrinders SWOLECast. Really appreciate everybody. Go check out ffcomedyhour.com, Peter says.
The archives are up on SoundCloud.
Oh, man. It just continues to go off the rails. We appreciate everyone watching. We'll see you next week. Week 15 here on RotoGrinders.com.